Hello and welcome to day number 8 of Nintember 2016. I'm Wes, the Average Trainer, and today I am talking about another Super Nintendo game known as EarthBound. And really, EarthBound is that cult classic that everybody knows about, and most people can tell you a little bit about what it is. Not as many people played it because it's a little bit pricey, but it's now available to everybody through the new 3DS and the Wii U. And if you haven't played it yet, you really need to play EarthBound. It is, well, it feels like Pokemon in many ways because the art style is similar and it's got that overhead view and it's kind of, you walk kind of slow, kind of like in Pokemon. It's a really good RPG and definitely one of my favorites because it kind of hit that sweet spot that I needed back in, mid-2000s. Or not mid-2000s, I suppose, like 2005, 2006, I had finally obtained a copy of the Super Nintendo version, and I really fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. And from there, I had to go ahead and purchase the Mother 1+2 Game Boy Advance cart and the Mother 3 cart from Japan for the Game Boy Advance, I should say. Well, I already said, but for the Game Boy Advance because I really had to play Mother 3 and Mother 2 on the go, and it was all in Japanese, and I made my way through those games pretty far just by using some guides and, basic understanding of katakana, or maybe it was hiragana. I can't remember how that was written out, but it is such a fun experience. I know a lot of people are turned off by the turn-based gameplay, and for some reason, people are just really weird about not being able to see their character on screen. I've never had a problem with that. When you're battling, I mean, come on, like that's minor stuff. That's what Dragon Quest did. It's pretty traditional. Yeah, you saw yourself in Final Fantasy, all your characters at least, but I don't know. I've never really understood that complaint, but it's just a really fun game. I think they're really ahead of themselves in many ways. The first way is they're kind of a mixture of an active time and a turn-based system where the enemy would hit you and your HP would continue to scroll down, but you had a chance to save yourself if it was like a critical hit. So right before you hit 0, you had a chance to use a cookie or something to heal your HP, and you could come back from that if you were really fast and you really knew what you were doing. And I also liked how on the overworld map, if your character was just too strong and you ran into a random battle, it would just be done. You'd gain your experience and it would just be done like that. And I thought that was super ahead of its time, and you don't see a lot of RPGs that do that these days. I don't understand why. It's such a great feature. I kind of wish Pokemon would do that sometimes. Maybe Final Fantasy has done that in some ways, but I haven't seen it. Man, Final Fantasy X would have been so much faster if you could do that. Just think about it. But I think it was just so ahead of its time, and I love the Peanuts-styled art, really, because I'm a huge Peanuts fan. Charlie Brown, Pigpen, the whole 9 yards, and I thought they did really well representing that kind of art style on the Super Nintendo. And it's just so timeless. Like, you play that game today, and, a lot of it does feel like a modern game. Yeah, a lot of it's dated at this point and could use for an upgrade. That's what Mother 3 is for. And I'm hoping to talk about that someday. But right now, EarthBound, pick it up if you have the opportunity. If you have a new 3DS and a Wii U, or a Wii U, pick it up. What are you waiting for? You've got to play this game. It's one of those RPG staples. You need to try it. And if you haven't tried it, please comment and tell me, because I would love to play through it with you. I would love to play it simultaneously so that you have someone to talk with. So let me know, and I will totally discuss EarthBound for hours and hours and hours with you. And I didn't even touch on the music, man. The Onett theme, the Tucson theme, Foresight. I'm not really a big fan of the Threed theme. All the different battle themes that you have for the different characters, like if you weren't even looking at the screen and you were just grinding out the battles, you know exactly who you're fighting based on the music in the background. That is really good and ahead of its time. And the psychedelic backgrounds, that was something. Very colorful. The end boss was also very something, yeah. It's hard to talk about that, but I'll leave that for someone else who's a little bit more experienced than me. So there you have it. That's EarthBound. That is, one of my favorites on the Super Nintendo, and I hope you will try it out soon. Comment below and tell me what you think of EarthBound. Until next time, stay average. Goodbye.